A very warm welcome to you. This is Galaxy TV News. Here are top stories. Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) declares Osun governorship election as inconclusive. INEC officer accused of swapping election result sheet. Moving outside Nigeria, Iran President Hassan Rouhani criticizes U.S. following deadly attack in military parade. And in sports, Nigeria 100-meter hurdler Tobi Amusan targets world smashing record in athletics ahead to 2020 Olympics. Many thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie Ojadi. In our first story, the Independent National Electoral Commission has declared the Osun State governorship election inconclusive. The candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Ademola Adeleke, had polled 254,698 votes to defeat that of the All Progressives Congress, Gboyega Oyetola, who polled 254,345 votes. However, due to irregularities which marred the election at some polling units in Ife North, Ife South, and Orolu local government areas, including cases of card reader malfunctioning, ballot box snatching, amongst others, this led to the cancellation of 3,498 votes recorded in the affected polling units. Quoting INEC standing rules at the Commission's headquarters in Osogbo, the state capital, the returning officer and Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Professor Joseph Fuwakwe, said since the margin between the two leading candidates was lower than the registered cancelled votes, the election had to be declared inconclusive.
The number of registered voters at the polling units where elections were cancelled is 3,498. We will recall that early this morning, we presented reasons why a candidate could be returned or candidate may not be returned. The margin, according to the election guideline, where the margin of win between two leading candidates is not in excess of the total number of registered voters of the polling units where elections were cancelled, a candidate or a party may not be returned. From the analysis of results that we have, the difference between the two leading parties is just 353. And the number of voters in units where elections were cancelled is 3,498. To that effect, unfortunately, as a returning officer, it's not possible to declare any party as the clear winner of this election.
INEC says a rerun will take place at the affected polling units on Thursday, September 27, 2018. In the meantime, a group of women observers have condemned the pronouncement of Osun State governorship election as inconclusive by the returning officer, Professor Joseph Fuwakwe. At a chat with Galaxy News correspondent Lebi Joseph at the INEC headquarters in Osogbo, the women group equivocally declared unacceptable the decision of the INEC about the election. They said the outcome of the election is a true reflection of the desire of the people of Osun State, which deserves support of the INEC as an umpire. They were of the opinion that INEC should respect the efforts of the people who came out under the sun to cast their vote.
Women in Osun came out in mass to vote. If you go to all the polling units, you will see the bulk of women making governance. You will find that it is a woman that is making governance. It is a woman putting the governor on his seat. It is a woman that are casting the vote. And inconclusiveness is a push back to the Nigerian women.
Also, an officer of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, was accused of swapping original results sheet of the governorship election in Ayedade local government area. While the collation of results was ongoing, the returning officer for the People's Democratic Party raised an objection about the figure recorded for PDP, and thereafter an officer of INEC in Osun State, Salau Mutiu, was fished out and the shredded original result sheet was found in his waist bag.
We had his ID card with him. And the ad hoc staff that's saying who happens to be his superior, he's nowhere to be found. They're not even answering anybody. So please, they've told us that we shall allow him go.
Why would we allow him go?
No, what they're saying is we have enough votes to take us off.
That's not the point.
You understand?
This
but
is
the
fraud.
it is fraud, but the security agents are not doing anything. What they want to do is to whiz him away.
It was gathered that Salau Mutiu confessed that the superior officer of the INEC ordered him to swap the result sheet. Meanwhile, members of the People's Democratic Party present at the scene accused security personnel and INEC of trying to shield the accused person. Moving on, about 4,000 residents of Abonema, the headquarters of Akukutoru local government area of Rivers State, and other neighboring communities have benefited from a 3-day free medical outreach organized by the council. The medical outreach, which was organized by the council chairman Roland Sekibo, in collaboration with 2 other sons of the area, was part of efforts to deliver quality health care to the people. Addressing newsmen during the medical outreach, Sekibo said former Minister of Sports Tami Danagogo and Deputy Chief Whip of the State House of Assembly, Major Jack, partnered the council for the program. He said the gesture is in line with his vision to restore quality health care to people of the area.
A lot of people are facing serious medical issues. So that's what we're doing. What we're doing today is a 2-day program, but with what is on ground. We're trying to extend it to the 3rd day. We know a lot of logistics is involved, but
a medical expert, Tambari Joseph, who attended to the patients with his team, said they carried out surgeries, attended to dental issues, dispensed drugs, gave out eyeglasses, amongst others. Some beneficiaries of the medical outreach expressed happiness for the program.
I think about 4,000 patients so far. We hope to stretch about 7,000 tomorrow. We've done about 20 general surgeries, about 15 O&G surgeries. The dental therapy will hand about...
I'm here because my son was operated for hernia. Though it was 3 weeks ago, I took him to BMH and they find out that it was hernia.
And I came here for my optical problem, and now I've got my space.
Still ahead, Kumuyi Utomi charged youths on leadership entrepreneurial development. Details of this and other stories when Galaxy News returns. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Galaxy News. For more updates and latest news, visit our website at galaxytvonline.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GalaxyTV Nigeria. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GalaxyTV or tweet at us at GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Official Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. Former preacher William Kumuyi and the founder of the Center for Value in Leadership, Professor Pat Utomi, have charged the youths in Nigeria to rise up from their present challenges and channel their efforts to self-development. The duo gave this charge at an event tagged the Gathering of Unstoppable Achievers, which hosted over 50,000 youths from around Lagos. General Superintendent of the Deeper Life Christian Ministry, Dr. Williams Kumuyi, said many youths have fallen prey to ungodly and antisocial tendencies as a result of role models who take undue advantage of their simplicity. Professor Pat Utomi, who focused his speech on the 21st century entrepreneur, said the youths are the hope of Nigeria.
You see, it's not just that we have hope, a lame hope, or a quiet hope that doesn't plan to do something. Number one, we know that God has given us the heart, the mind, and also the intelligence to see the way forward. And instead of just talking about it, people should rise up and do something that can be done. Not only that, there should be what we call a mastermind. That is a team. The way I look at a team is a T-E-A-M, together, everybody achieves more. And if we can do something that those who have like mind, not party now, not politics, nothing, but those who know that this country, there's future for us, and we're willing to sacrifice time and talent and resources, I believe that we can do something.
Today in our country, as we face economic challenges of being the biggest collection of poor people on the planet Earth, something we should not ever put away from our mind. Anybody who does not wake up thinking, how come I live in such a country that has so much by way of talent of human beings, that has so much by way of natural resources, and yet is the highest pool of desperately poor people on earth. That person is not a leader, should not even aspire to a life in politics.
Earlier, the National Youth Coordinator said the program was designed to inculcate the noblest of virtues in the youth and steer them away from the swarm of antisocial and push-pull tendencies.
Yes, we recognize that young people and even human beings generally are made up of spirit, soul, and body. They go to school to train their minds, to develop their brains and all that. But we often realize that education is doing quite a lot in molding lives. But the moral aspect of human life plays a very important role in putting people in the right focus and making them to imbibe the right kind of behavior that will make them to stand up to challenges facing human life. That's why we, as a church, recognize that that aspect of human life.
Special renditions and presentations were made to the delight of the youths present. In another story, Borno State Emergency Management Agency has acknowledged the contributions of donor agencies to the state emergency victims across the villages and camps in the state. She said despite the shrinking of humanitarian donations across the globe and Nigeria exiting the global famine and humanitarian red spot, agencies have continued to come to the aid of Borno, especially victims and communities affected by insurgency. She made this acknowledgement while witnessing the distribution of non-food items to residents of Ngwam that just returned to their villages from the IDP camps. The donation was made by the World Bank in collaboration with the state government. Yabawa Kolo disclosed that, but for the donations, SEMA would have been faced with the daunting task of meeting its needs.
I know the process. We started the process almost 3 years back, and now that same process is yielding so many fruits. The quarters or the housing estates that we are in is part of also state government and World Bank efforts. And today, part of efforts to consolidate the initial efforts is to give these non-food items and small food items.
As electioneering has commenced for next year's general elections, the government of Borno State has reminded the general public of the dangers of disturbing the peace of the state, stating that the vigilante groups in the state have been empowered to deal with any violator and thugs that will want to undermine the peace and serenity of the state. The Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of the state, Barrister Kaka Shehu, said the CJTF, Vigilante, and other security outfits in the state are legally backed by law to forestall security and orderliness in the crisis-ravaged state in order to have a safe and secure environment for elections. He said government will not be cowed or blackmailed into compromising the relative peace being enjoyed presently in the state. As such, every security apparatus will be put in place to check activities of hoodlums. The Speaker of the Delta House of Assembly, Honorable Sheriff Oborewori, has said that one of the major functions of the House is to make laws and carry out their oversight functions. He made the remark at Isoko South Local Government Area while leading the Majority Leader of the House to empower 500 youths and elders. While speaking on the activities of the Assembly, the Speaker reiterated the importance of quality representation.
It's a majority of the House. You know, not just go to the house. Go to the house. You know, go to the house, go and make law. Our leaders have the ability to make law and understand culture.
Up next is sports.
Call her Dynamite and you won't be wrong. Standing at 5.1 feet, Oluwatobiloba Amusan is definitely the next big thing in women's 100 meters hurdles after the storied Gloria Lozier, who represented Nigeria before switching nationality to Spain. Though the Commonwealth and Africa Athletic Championship champion don't want to be compared with Gloria Lozier Africa, a national record holder at 12.44 seconds in 1998, she looks forward to smashing the record in the nearest future.
She's Coach Lucina, and she brought me from Nigeria, and she had me from 13.10 to 12.8 to 12.7 to 12.5. So it's like within 2 years, I've been really, really consistent, and I'm running faster, so I feel there's no point for me to leave now that I'm doing better with someone who brought me from point A to B.
At 21, Toby, as she is simply known, believes she has what it takes to rule Africa and the world in some years. She has partly achieved her 2018 dream as the winner of the Gold Coast Australia Commonwealth Games in June, as well as the Africa Senior Championship in Asaba, Nigeria, held in August. However, she said her target was to raise the Games record in Australia, a feat she could not achieve.
The 2020 Olympics and how I'm preparing for it, it's just the same mindset I had for 2016, the Rio Olympics. So you just work harder times two, because I know I made it to the semifinals in 2016. So if I could make it to the semifinals in 2016 and I have 4 more years, then I feel I can, with hard work, prayer, and injury-free, I would do better in Tokyo 2020.
Amusan is among the exclusive few that left Asaba with more than a gold medal. She was a member of the Nigeria 4x100 meters relay team that dusted South Africa to the gold medal.
Yes, Amusan was strong out the blocks, no mistakes made, and that's the crucial thing. Williams clattered barriers down, and even though she's a strong and a very good technical hurdler, she made mistakes, and we know you make mistakes in this event and they can be very costly, but you cannot take anything away from that young lady. She is the champion at the age of 20.
In the meantime, the second phase of Prudent Energy Handball League throws off on September 25, 2018 at the Royal Park Handball Courts, with 22 teams comprising 12 male and 10 female teams vying for the sponsors' 1 million naira star prize for the winners in both male and female categories. The 5-year sponsorship deal, which came into being last April, with the main objective of developing a viral and functional handball league in Nigeria, has seen the once moribund sport come alive again, with players currently vying for honours at the African Under-18 and 20 Junior and Cadet Nations Cup in Morocco. Among the teams expected to be on parade in the male category include Lagos Seasiders male team, Safety Shooters, the Defenders male team, amongst others. In the female category, some of the teams competing include Safety Babes, the Defenders Babes, Lagos Seasiders, Imo Grasshoppers, amongst others. The runners-up and third-place winners will get 750,000 naira and 500,000 naira apiece in both categories. Speaking at the media parley, Chief Executive Officer of Prudent Energy, Abdulwasiu Sawami, and President of the Handball Federation, Samuel Ocheno, say the moves to sponsoring handball as a sport came to being as the sport in Nigeria is not well supported by government and private sectors.
We will be the official sponsor of the Handball League for the next 5 years. And the objective is to develop a virile and functional handball league in the country. We are particularly interested in handball as a sport because we have come to realize that handball in Nigeria is not well supported by government and the private sector.
There will be 12 male teams participating and 10 female teams participating, so we're expecting a total of 22 teams, and it's going to be done on a round-robin basis.
The champions of this league will represent Nigeria at the African Club Championships slated to hold in Abidjan in October, while the runners-up will represent Nigeria at the African Club Winners' Championship.
No, Zamora.
And now we bring you news making headlines from the international scene.
Welcome to the international scene. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has criticized the U.S. following a deadly attack on a military parade. Gunmen opened fire at Revolutionary Guard troops in the southwestern city of Ahvaz on Saturday in an attack claimed by both an anti-government Arab group and Islamic State militants. Mr. Rouhani said the bully U.S. and the Gulf states it backed had enabled the attack. The U.S. had claimed this and says it condemns any terrorist attack. Mr. Rouhani will face Donald Trump at the UN General Assembly this week. Saturday's attack killed 25 people, including 12 soldiers, civilians watching the parade, and a 4-year-old girl. Ahvaz National Resistance, an umbrella group that claims to defend the rights of the Arab minority in Iran's Khuzestan province, said the group was behind the bloodshed, while IS also claimed their attack. Neither group provided evidence to show it was involved. Moving on, the Maldives went to polls Sunday in a heavily criticized election that was closely watched by India and China. Voting was extended by 3 hours due to long queues. The Indian Ocean archipelago is best known overseas for its clear waters and high-end resorts, but its government stands accused of crushing dissent. President Abdullah Yameen has embraced China, while his opponent, Ibrahim Mohammed Solih, is seen as leaning towards India and the West. The European Union and US have voiced concerns about the election, with both threatening to impose targeted sanctions if the democratic situation does not improve. Police raided the opposition headquarters on the eve of the vote. Meanwhile, voters in Switzerland appear to have overwhelmingly rejected 2 proposals on ethical and sustainable food. Initial projections suggest the 2 initiatives have been defeated by no votes of over 60%. The proposals were aimed at boosting local farming and promoting more sustainable agriculture. Both opponents, including business leaders and the government, which advised people to vote no, had warned of higher food prices and less choice. The size of the defeat will be a big disappointment to farmers' groups and ethical food campaigners. Finally, on the international scene, at least 14 civilians and 4 soldiers were killed in a 6-hour attack by rebels on the towns of Beni in eastern Congo, the army and local officials say, warning the unrest could hamper efforts to quash an Ebola epidemic in the area. The latest outbreak of the deadly disease in Democratic Republic of Congo has been focused in North Kivu and Ituri provinces, which have been a tinderbox of armed rebellion and ethnic killing since 2 civil wars in the late 1990s. Militants believed to belong to the Allied Democratic Forces, a Uganda Islamic group active in eastern Congo, clashed with Congolese troops in Beni, a town of several 100,000 people, local civil society leader Kizito Binhangi said by telephone.
Welcome back, and now for more updates and latest news, visit our website at galaxytvonline.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GalaxyTV Nigeria. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GalaxyTV or tweet at us at GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Official Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. And that's it on news at this time. I'm Stephanie Ojadi. Many thanks for watching.
Yes,